Welcome to Evermore Love. Hey there, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for joining us on this cozy evening. We're thrilled you're here, especially as we edge closer to that magical 1K subscriber milestone. Your love and shares are making it happen. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a heartfelt story like this one. And hey, stick around till the very end. We've got something special waiting just for you. Now, settle in with a warm cup of tea, let the world fade away, and let's immerse ourselves in tonight's tale. Late Night, Open Window. A story of whispers in the dark, stolen glances, and a love that blooms where the night air meets the dawn. Ready? Here we go. The city hummed softly under a blanket of stars, but in Elena's third-floor apartment, the world felt miles away. It was well past midnight on a humid summer night, the kind where the air clung to your skin like a secret you weren't ready to share. Elena sat by her open window, the sheer white curtains billowing like ghosts in the faint breeze. She loved this window, its wide sill perfect for curling up with a book, its view of the sleepy street below a quiet companion to her restless thoughts. At 28, she'd built a life here, a cozy nest of mismatched furniture, shelves groaning under novels she'd devoured, and a job at the local library that paid just enough to keep the lights on. But lately, the nights stretched longer, heavier, laced with an ache she couldn't name. Loneliness, perhaps, or the echo of dreams she'd tucked away like forgotten letters. She sipped chamomile tea from a chipped mug, the steam curling up to mingle with the distant scent of rain-soaked jasmine from the alley garden below. Her dark hair fell in loose waves over her shoulders, and her hazel eyes traced the flickering neon sign of the corner bodega across the street. That's when she heard it. A soft, melodic strum, like fingers coaxing secrets from guitar strings. It drifted up from the apartment directly below hers, through the open window of number 2B. Elena froze, her heart skipping in that unexpected way it does when beauty sneaks up on you. The music paused, then resumed, slower this time, weaving a melody that felt like a sigh. She leaned forward, peering down into the shadowed courtyard. There, on a rickety fire escape bathed in the glow of a single string of fairy lights, sat a man she'd seen only in passing. Javier. He was the new tenant, the one with the easy smile and the faded band tee that hugged his lean frame. Mid-30s, maybe, with tousled black hair that caught the moonlight like polished obsidian, and hands that moved over the guitar with a grace that made her breath catch. She'd nodded at him once in the laundry room, exchanging awkward hellos over the rumble of dryers, but that was it. Strangers, bound only by thin walls and shared stairs. Tonight, though, the music bridged them. Elena closed her eyes, letting the notes wash over her, the low, resonant chords speaking of longing, of roads not taken. It reminded her of her own unfinished song, the fiancé who'd left 2 years ago, citing her endless books and quiet ways, as too much like solitude for his restless spirit. Since then, she'd armored herself in routine, in the safe harbor of stories that weren't her own. But this melody cracked something open, a fissure of vulnerability she hadn't felt in ages. Emboldened by the anonymity of the night, she whispered down, her voice barely louder than the breeze. That's beautiful. What is it? The strumming stopped abruptly. A beat of silence, then his face tilted up, shadowed but warm, his dark eyes finding hers in the dim light. An old folk tune from my abuela's village in Mexico. Nube Negra. Black cloud. It's about rain that cleanses but leaves you raw. His voice was deep, accented with a soft roll of RS that made her stomach flutter. He set the guitar aside, leaning back against the railing. Didn't mean to wake you. Or serenade the whole block. She laughed, a light, surprised sound that felt foreign in her throat. You didn't. I couldn't sleep anyway. The window. It's my late-night confessional. Keeps the walls from closing in. He nodded, as if he understood perfectly. Mine too. Moved here 3 weeks ago, chasing a gig at that jazz club downtown. But the city's louder than I remembered. This fire escape. It's my stage when the crowd thins out. They talked like that for an hour, words floating between windows like fireflies. About her love for Austen heroines who found strength in quiet rebellion. His passion for composing scores that captured the ache of immigrant dreams. He shared how he'd left Guadalajara at 18, guitar in hand, chasing notes that echoed his father's unfulfilled poetry. She confessed the sting of her breakup, how it left her questioning if love was just another plot twist she wasn't brave enough for. Laughter mingled with pauses heavy with unspoken hurts, the night air thick with possibility. By 2 a.m. the conversation lulled, but neither wanted to let go. "Play it again," she asked, her voice soft as silk. Javier obliged, his fingers dancing over the strings, the melody now laced with improvisation, a bridge just for her, tender and teasing. As the last note faded, he stood, craning his neck. "Elena, right? From the laundry room ghost." She smiled into the darkness. "Guilty. And you're Javier, the midnight maestro." From that night, the open windows became their ritual. Every evening after her shift, she'd crack hers wide, heart pounding with a mix of nerves and thrill. He'd appear on cue, guitar slung over his shoulder, sometimes with a thermos of strong coffee to share via the alleyway pulley she'd rigged with a basket years ago, a quirky invention from her college days. They'd talk about everything and nothing, the way the streetlights painted the cobblestones gold at dusk, her secret fear of thunderstorms that masked deeper storms inside. His guilt over calls home that grew shorter with each passing month. Romance bloomed in stolen fragments, a brush of fingers when passing the basket. His gaze lingering on the curve of her smile like it was a lyric he needed to memorize. But love, like any good story, wasn't without its shadows. 2 weeks in, challenges crept like fog through the cracks. Javier's gigs turned erratic. The club owner slashed his hours, citing vibes not matching the crowd. Money tightened and pride, fierce, unyielding, kept him from leaning on her. One night he didn't show. Elena waited, the window mocking her with its emptiness, the breeze now chill and accusatory. Worry gnawed at her. Had he left like the others? By dawn, exhaustion won, and she slammed the window shut, tears hot on her cheeks. "Fool," she whispered to her reflection. "Windows open both ways. You let him in, and now the cold follows." The next evening a knock echoed, not from below but at her door. Javier stood there, rain-slicked and hollow-eyed, a bouquet of wilting wildflowers clutched in one hand, his guitar case in the other. "I messed up," he said, voice raw. "The gig fell through. Hey," he spiraled. "Thought I'd spare you the mess of a man who can't even keep a tune paying the rent." His eyes, those deep pools of brown, shimmered with unshed tears. "But walking away, that's not a melody I can play. Not without you." Elena's heart fractured and mended in the same breath. She pulled him inside, the door clicking shut like a vow. They sank onto her worn couch, the room alive with the patter of rain against the panes. Words tumbled out. His fears of failure echoing her own abandonment wounds, the way love terrified them both because it demanded surrender. He traced the lines of her palm with trembling fingers. "You make me want to compose something permanent, Elena. Not just notes but a life. With open windows, late nights, and all the storms in between." She leaned in, their foreheads touching, breaths mingling like the first notes of a duet. "Then stay. We'll weather it together. No more hiding behind glass." Their first kiss was a revelation. Soft at first, tentative as the brush of curtains, then deepening with the urgency of withheld longing. His lips tasted of coffee and salt, her hands threading through his hair as if anchoring him to the moment. They moved to the window sill, the city sprawling below like a canvas for their unfolding epic. That night, as thunder rumbled distant threats, they made love by the open window, bodies entwined in a rhythm more profound than any guitar string. Whispers of "Te quiero" and "I love you" wove through gasps and sighs, the breeze carrying their promises into the velvet dark. Months blurred into a tapestry of shared sunrises and resilient joys. Javier landed a steady composing job for indie films, his music now infused with the lightness of her laughter. Elena, emboldened, submitted her own short stories to journals, pages alive with the vulnerability they'd unearthed together. Challenges lingered, a cross-country family visit that tested their roots, her old doubts resurfacing on anniversaries, but each hurdle only deepened their bond, turning obstacles into verses in their endless song. One crisp autumn night, a year to the day since that first melody, Javier waited on the fire escape with his guitar. Elena opened her window, heart full, the air scented with falling leaves. He played a new composition, Ventana Abierta, Open Window, a ballad of their nights, her strength, his wandering soul finding home. Midway through he paused, pulling a small velvet box from his pocket. Marry me, mi amor. Let's keep the windows open forever. Tears streamed down her face as she climbed down to him, nodding through laughter and sobs. Yes. 1,000 times yes. They kissed under the harvest moon, the city sighing approval, their love a beacon against the encroaching chill. And so, in the quiet alchemy of late nights and open windows, two hearts learned that true romance isn't flawless. It's the brave choice to let the breeze in, storms and all. It's the melody that plays on, even when the strings fray. What a journey that was, wasn't it? If this story touched your heart the way it did mine, please take a moment to like, comment your favorite line below, and subscribe to Evermore Love for more enchanting tales that celebrate the beauty of connection. Your support helps us reach hearts like yours. Together we're building a community of dreamers. Until next time, keep your windows open. And your heart even more so. Sweet dreams. Two hearts.